This training video is going to show you how to add a agency under an organization with agents. So let's say you're running your brokerage and you want to bring on agents to your brokerage. And you want each one of these agents to kind of act as their own organization within your hierarchy with their own set of customers. You can definitely do that within our system with our hierarchy function. The first thing you need to do is go to LSP and then select organizations. So here's a list of all the different organizations I have set up in my test database here. But let's talk about agents specifically. So let's say I want to set up a new agency and I want to assign an agent to that agency and assign that agent's customers to that agency. So let's set up the overall agency first. So first I'm going to add new LSP organization. For the name of it, I'm actually going to give it a name of the agent whose agency this is. So let's call this Tom Jones. So Tom Jones is my sales agent. This is his agency. For the parent, I always recommend that you just use your main organization, whatever your organization name is, so that you're at the top and then this agent is right below you. Now, the rest of the information here is all pretty much just data entry, entering in the company address, things like that. So you can go ahead and enter all that information in. And we do have other training videos that talk about some of these accounting settings in more detail. But for the purposes of just setting up the agency, all you got to do is set that up. And then you can also label it if you like. Over here under the organization type, sorry, I lost track of that for a sec. Just call it agency. This really doesn't do anything as far as settings or how anything works. It just labels this as an agency. So now I'm going to go ahead and click on Save and View Details. So now I have Tom Jones set up. Tom Jones exists under UFOP, which is my fictitious company name that I'm in. Okay. So now the Tom Jones agency has been set up. So the next step is I need to add his username under Tom Jones and add some of his customers under his agency. So to do that, I go to LSP and LSP staff. I'm going to click on Add New LSP Staff Member. I'm going to call this Tom Jones, since this is the agent. I'm going to give him a username and password. Just do tom.jones. I'll just put in a password. And then I'm going to scroll down a little bit further. Now, as far as what type of permissions you want to give this user, if this is an agency and really he can probably have access, he or she can have access to everything in that agency. So if you check off user allowed org access here for this profile, that means they can see everyone under the agency, which is typically fine. And if you hover over each one of these permissions, it tells you what each permission does. But remember, you're setting up this agent below your organization. So even if you give them full access, they will only see information at their agency level. Okay? One last thing I need to do is select the organization that he belongs to. So I'm going to actually select Tom Jones. Since Tom Jones is a Tom Jones agency, I'm going to click Save. And there we are. So Tom Jones, the rep, which is the staff I just created, now exists under Tom Jones, the organization. Okay. So now if I go into the Tom Jones, and actually, I'm going to click on Edit Record. I'm just going to call this Tom Jones Agency, just to make it a little clearer when I'm kind of going through this example. Okay. So now if I go to LSP and LSP organizations, I type in Tom, there's the Tom Jones Agency. I'm going to click on the ID number. I see that Tom Jones is the staff member under that agency. So now if Tom Jones logs into his account, since he is set up under the Tom Jones agency, he's only going to see customers that belong to that Tom Jones agency. So how do you set up customers under that agency? All you need to do there is go to Customers and Create New Company. And when you're creating the new company, right here where it says Parent ID, just type in Tom Jones Agency. So now when you create this customer profile, since you have the parent ID of Tom Jones, this customer will now exist under the Tom Jones agency. So what does that mean? That just means that when Tom Jones logs into his account, he'll see this customer and see other customers assigned to the Tom Jones agency. And then you will, of course, still have visibility to this. So even though this customer is under a different parent ID or a different organization type, since you're at the top level in the hierarchy, you will still see Tom Jones. Okay? So that's all there is to setting up the agency organization, adding a staff under that organization, and also adding a customer under that organization. Now, there's a lot of other things you can do with this in regards to like margins and markups. So let's say on the Tom Jones agency, they're going to be inheriting your tariffs, and you want to mark up all of the rates going to the Tom Jones agency. What you can do there is go to LSP and go to LSP organizations. Just type in Tom Jones, go into the organization profile, and then click on Add Margins. Okay. So now I'm adding a margin at the organization level. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a 25% markup. I'm going to get rid of this accessorial margin detail. And then I'm going to click Save and Add Details, Save Margin. So now what I'm telling the system is, for the Tom Jones agency, there's a 25% markup in place, meaning when Tom Jones logs into his account and he sees rates, the cost side will already include a 25% markup. So he might not even know that you've added a 25% markup to his cost. But now his cost already includes a markup, so he can modify his sell rate to whatever he wants, but your margin is protected since you've added that 25% markup. Okay? So that is how you add an agency to the system using the hierarchy method. If you have any questions, please contact IT support. Thank you.